Nope.
What is going on, you guys? It's James from James Reptiles, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about leopard gecko genetics, all the codom, recessive, and all of those, along with my two newest geckos, and I'm going to be talking about their different traits and how you can tell what they are in the animal. And let's just jump into that, huh? Let's start with that. So right here, I have my two newest beautiful animals. This one is Rosa, and this one is, I forget, my sister named it. I think it was Snowstorm? Something like that. Icicle, Popsicle, something like that. So let's start with, Rosa's a little squirmy. Rosa's actually a lot prettier in my opinion, and she's peeing on me, and she actually has less genetics. So let's start with her. So Rosa is a white and yellow snow bell het for radar. And het for radar means het for eclipse, but she is a bell. And let me get into that. So white and yellow, what it does is it takes the white neck band on a regular leopard gecko. It usually makes it a little thicker. It brightens a lot of the colors. You can kind of see that in this yellow pigment. It's very bright, faded yellow. And it'll also bring the white sides up a lot on the animal. And you can see that the pattern's way up here on the back. And so what snow does, it takes a lot of that yellow out. Almost all of it in most cases. Bell albino is just a form of albino that takes a lot of the dark pigment away. And eclipse is an eye mutation that also affects the pattern a little bit, giving partial or solid eyes. She actually doesn't carry she's a carrier for the gene, not a physical. Yeah, the other one just went off the table. She's a carrier for the gene and doesn't actually have it. So you would say white and yellow snow, and when I say snow, I mean Mack snow. White and yellow, Mack snow, bell albino, het for eclipse or het radar, which would be bell eclipse. Let me go get the other one real quick. She's chilling under the table. Actually, before I do that, let me try to show you her eyes. So you can see her eye. Her eyes are regular leopard gecko eyes. That'll come into play in just a second when I show you this one, and I guarantee you she'll run off the table. So this is the exact same thing, except she is a carrier of eclipse, or a visual carrier of eclipse. So she is white and yellow. You can see that the very thick white neck band, pattern going way up the side. A bell albino, because that's just the albino line she's from. She is a snow. And I will say this, she's a low quality snow, which is why you can see a lot of the yellow, and you're looking for a lot of yellow on the back legs. She's missing a lot. She's a low quality snow, with just a tiny underbite. That's so slight that I'm not really worried about it. And of course the fat sacks, they both have the fat sacks under their arms. So she's white and yellow snow, bell albino. And eclipse, you can't really see it in the pattern because it's so reduced by this animal. But if you look at her eyes, sorry, the albinos don't like the bright light. So let me just try to get her to open her eyes. Well, anyway, I'll put up a picture of her eyes. I'll take a picture later of them. They're basically half solid, half full. And eclipse will do this. It'll also make full solid eyes. Preferably what you want is full solid eyes, but you can't breed specifically for it, really. So the plan for these two geckos is to get a super snow radar male, which I'm most likely going to get one from Canada. No one's working with this project, and it really bums me out. It's actually really hard to find the genetics I want for this project because no one's working with it. So a super snow radar with this girl would produce white and yellow snow radars and white and yellow super snow radars, along with snow radars and super snow radars. This other girl, and those are all 1 in 4 chance exactly. This girl will make those 4 plus hets. So she'll make white and yellow snow bell het radars, white and yellow super snow bell het radar, snow bell het radar, super snow bell het radar, and then because the male carries both of the eclipse genes and she carries one, you know, half the babies will be those four, half the babies will be the other four. And that's just the way that works. Are they in frame? Yeah, they're in frame. So that's just the way that works. So let's start with white and yellow because we don't know, because white and yellow is weird. So white and yellow at this point in time, everyone's got a guess, but it's really hard to tell exactly what it is in terms of, is it recessive, is it codominant, is it, you know, what is it? Is it definitely not line bred? It's got such a spectrum how it shows up on a gecko, and like it's hard to tell if the gecko is actually white and yellow, that it's in most cases just not known. So that being said, if both the females are white and yellow, we will get some white and yellow offspring. I don't know, I'll track the exact percentages, but there's no guarantee on any of that. So let's move on to snow. So both these girls are snow, even though this one's a lower quality, they're both snow. The male will be a super snow. So super Mack snow is a codominant, and super snow is the super form, is the both, it has both copies. Snow is one copy. Both copies will actually deform the nose a little bit and give it lots of lying. It'll line all the patterns. So I imagine a gecko like this, there'll be lines of that, and a gecko like this, it'll be lines of that if it's a super snow, which is something I've never seen, and no one's doing this, and it's just so surprising that no one's even going anywhere with a bell gene right now. It's honestly stupid that no one's doing it. And I will say it's not 100% my idea. I did borrow it from my buddy Trent. He was looking at some white and yellow bell and white and yellow radars and white and yellow red stripes, and I said, you know what about white and yellow radar super snows? Like, what if you just had all those genes in there? And that's hopefully the goal. I mean, I caught her, but then I dropped her. So that's basically the goal. Super snow. So the male will be super snow. So all the babies will be snow. Will at least be snow. Half of them will be snow. Half of them will be super snow. Theoretically, half of them should be white and yellow. And 75% should be radar. 25% will be bell. But everything that is bell will carry the gene for eclipse. This girl's a little wonky. You can tell when she walks, she moves her head just a little weird. And I'm not super fond of that, but I don't really have a choice. Oh, you can see her eyeball. Ugh. She's showing her eyeball right now. I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but you can see the front half of her eyeball is solid red because it's a form of albino. So these girls, no tail kinks. Bell and eclipse are the only recessive genes in these, and basically what that means is, like, this one is bell eclipse. It's showing bell that it's albino. It's showing eclipse based on the eyes. This one's bell, and you can tell that by its albino, but it's het for eclipse, which means the odds say that if it wasn't produced as an eclipse, it's carrying the gene based on the parents' genetics. So if visual eclipse put to this head eclipse is going to give you 50% visual eclipse and 50% carriers. So I'll probably have these two on display at the show. I'll get some nice pictures for Instagram for the thumbnail and all that fun stuff. Not a super long video, super interesting. I'll put a picture of a super snow radar on screen at the end. It'll probably just be the one I'm looking at because they're so hard to come by. But hopefully this next year I said it in the last video, snow bell het radar, snow bell radar, super snow bell het radar, super snow radar, white and yellow snow bell het radar, white and yellow super snow bell het radar, white and yellow snow radar, white and yellow super snow radar. So there's a lot of outcomes there. Personally, I can tell them all apart. For the most part, I'm sure there's some white and yellows that'll be iffy. There's some snows that'll be iffy. But for the most part, I can tell them apart. So hopefully we have some babies this next year. Hopefully I can find a nice male. Anyway, I'm James from James Reptiles. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. All that really helps out the channel. Hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, jamesjeptiles@gmail.com if you have any questions. I'll be doing lots of shows this year, lots of pictures on the Instagram feed, on the Facebook, on the Twitter. And I will catch you guys in the next video in 2 days. Have a good one. Bye-bye.